almost moments away from a heavy defeat now, and it's not looking good per se. 4 matches, just one win. KL Rahul looks glum, and he should be needs to evaluate a lot after this match. Mumbai have been really clinical today. They have, I think, got full marks in all departments, and they'll be really happy after this game. But KL Rahul will be really disappointed after this show. Want in with a chance.
I think I will talk about him. The game is just over. 143 for 8 is what Punjab has been able to manage. Mumbai finally register their second win, and Punjab register their third as they beat Punjab by 48 run, big margin, and all this will come into play when net run rate will count. So let me tell you, 48 is a very big margin, and everybody of us will get to know that very soon. Talking about KL Rahul, trust me on this, as of now he has a very good beard, but it will change over a period of time. We'll add those grey hairs as well, because the team as a unit is not performing well. You cannot expect, I said it in the pre-show as well, I'm saying it again, you cannot expect KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal to do the job for you every time. Nicholas Pooran got the start, he could not convert that. That's not a good sign. Maxwell is consuming a lot of deliveries. I don't know what happens to Maxwell when he comes to play in Indian T20 League. He's such a good player when it comes to playing the World Cup. He's such a good player when it comes to playing the bilateral series. This is nothing to do with he playing in Asian conditions. He has done well in India as well. When he plays for Australia, I really don't know what happens to him when he plays for Punjab. He looks so out of touch today. I think 11 of 18, that's what he has been able to manage. So I think, yeah. So not a good performance. A lot of things to actually be looked at. James Neesham not doing the things required with the ball, not doing with the bat. I think it's more like Shami, Bishnoi, Agarwal, and Rahul are doing amazing. But other than that, all 7 players, they are just out of touch. They really don't know what they want to do.
As we talked about, what we talked about before the game, if KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal don't perform for them and don't contribute, the rest of the team doesn't look like they can win games for you, and that's exactly what's happened today. KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal didn't contribute well. They got out early, and then Nicholas Pooran, I think, got a really good start but failed to convert. Again, not a match-winning innings from him. Glenn Maxwell, again, really perplexed about what happens to him when he comes to play for any franchise in the Indian T20 League. He was struggling today, absolutely struggling. Struggling to find the middle of the bat, struggling to hit it over the boundary, as he does so often. And going forward into this tournament, either he has to perform or he has to play, lose his place in the side. There are only 2 options available.
But even if he will lose the place inside, who will actually replace him? The kind of combinations that they have, it is very difficult to keep somebody like Glenn Maxwell out of picture. If you keep him out, then you have a lot of left-handers in your side, and all the overseas one. It will be Jimmy Neesham, then you have Nicholas Pooran, then you also have Chris Gale if you are including him. I don't know where are they going.
And I think a ghastly performance for Jimmy Neesham as well. With the bat, he again looked a bit clueless. With the ball in hand, 53 conceded of 4 overs. I don't know where his graph is going in this tournament as well. So a lot of problems after the last 2 games. Death bowling has been a concern, even for Mohammad Shami and Sheldon Cottrell, their best 2 bowlers. And now I think they need an overhaul in their squad. They need to look around. They need to see where it is going wrong, especially KL Rahul. His decisions were not the best on this day, and he'll need to evaluate himself as a captain what he needs to do. And apart from KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, no one else has looked in match-winning form, because this game is about winning matches.
If you have your TV on, you can probably see how KL Rahul is looking at the moment. He is so disappointed. His team is just not performing. This is not the KL Rahul we know. He is always smiling. He's always looking to perform and put his extra foot forward. But I don't know. I'm very unhappy with how Punjab has actually performed cumulatively. There were a few partnerships in the middle when Pooran and Maxwell were batting. It looked like at one stage that probably things might change for them, but unfortunately that did not happen. A lot of good prospects to actually be looked at if you are a Mumbai fan. How good were Pandya brothers? How good was Rahul Chahar today? Let's talk about Pandya brothers because we were discussing about that in pre-match show as well, that Pandya brothers needs to perform. Hardik did with bat, Krunal did with ball. What a performance by Krunal from ball.
Yes, I think he
Before
was.
that one over, he was so good.
I told you exactly this, that he has to bowl away from the arc of the batsman. He has to bowl those wide Yorkers, and he did exactly that. He executed them to perfection. There were one or two wides involved in that spell, but apart from that, he was brilliant. He did congratulate himself. He was really pumped after he finished that last over, and he looked
Yeah.
really good. Hardik Pandya with the bat looked in fabulous form today. Krunal Pandya with the ball was really good. Today he knew which areas to bowl. Earlier he was looking a bit confused. Should I bowl those wide Yorkers? Should I bowl quick? He also bowled those round armish deliveries to Devdutt Padikkal in the last match. But today I think he got it spot on, and a lot of positive as you mentioned for Punjab, for Mumbai to look at.
Oh, one partner to the other, and now it's Mayank Agarwal who has the orange cap. Last time it was KL, but KL did not contribute much with the bat today, and it goes to Mayank. Now 246 runs, and if in hindsight you will see that somebody has scored 246, and the second name is from the same team, you will believe that this team is on top.
Purple cap is also there. Vedant.
Purple
Don't
cap is
forget,
also
purple
with
cap
them.
is also there. So purple cap, they have the orange cap. Second, I guess number of runs is also theirs, but still they're losing three matches. That means they're dependent on these three players.
I
There
think
is no other plausible explanation.
this was the first game, Yuvraj, where they actually lost. I would say in
True, true.
against Rajasthan, they were very competitive. Unfortunately for them, Tewatia came out very strongly and took the game away from them. In the first game away against Delhi, it actually looked like that they will be able to win that game. But I don't know what was going in head of Marcus Stoinis, and he actually changed the things for them. But ये मैच तो इनको जितनी जल्दी ये भूल सकते हैं उतना भूलना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अब लगातार दो लॉस हो चुके हैं. एंड वो जो एक मेंटल प्रेशर, क्योंकि ये लग आपको शायद 14 गेम रहे होंगे, पर ये कैसे निकल जाएगा टूर्नामेंट अभी पता नहीं चलेगा. 4 गेम इनके हो गए, 4 गेम मुंबई के हो भी गए. सो दैट्स हाउ द टूर्नामेंट इज एक्चुअली रनिंग.
एग्जैक्टली होने को बहुत लंबा टूर्नामेंट हो सकता है अगर आप हारते रहें, लेकिन जल्दी भी खत्म हो सकता है काफी. सो इट कैन गो ईदर वे. इट कैन गो नॉर्थ फॉर यू, इट कैन गो साउथ. एज आई सेड, if you have top two in the most number of runs, top two players are yours, purple cap is yours. That only possible explanation is you are too much dependent on these players, and that's why you're not able to get over the line. You might get very close to the finishing line, but you're not able to jump over it. So that's where they need to look at.
How similar is Punjab and Hyderabad? Because if you will see, Punjab has KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, and a lot is dependent on how they will perform. And similar when it comes to Hyderabad, they are a lot dependent on how Johnny Bairstow and David Warner will perform. And both the sides are actually facing issues in this tournament.
Yeah, yes, they are. I think you mentioned it correctly. They do have similar problems in their squad as well, and they're facing a similar situation right now. So, too much dependency on the top order never gives you dividends, as we've seen in Hyderabad also, Punjab also. Johnny Bairstow, David Warner, now Kane Williamson, and then Manish Pandey, dependent on top four. Punjab too much dependent on their top 3, 4 again maybe. So yeah, similar situations, and they need to find a solution again. How to build a combination, how to make your middle order solid. Either they need to make changes, or the players that are in your team, they need to step up and deliver for you.
There is an interesting statement made by Mayank Agarwal today. He's saying, until and unless the orange cap stays with Punjab, I am happy.
So he's happy losing matches.
Now I'm actually trying to project whether he's saying in sense of KL Rahul not getting it.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to say that it doesn't really matter whether Punjab loses or not, but until and unless Punjab wins the game, Punjab has the orange cap, I'm happy.
I think it would be in a
I'm
sense
just
that
joking. I really know that it's more to do with Rahul and Mayank, but
that's
joke.
how things can be taken out of context.
That's what media does all the time.
That's what you did.
Anyway, anyway, let's look at the scorecard now. We will talk about Mumbai first. What a solid performance this has been from Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya. 77 runs between them. 47 for Pollard, 30 for Hardik Pandya, 30 of just 11 deliveries that made him look a little different from others. 70 of 45 for Rohit Sharma, and he led the side from front. 70 of 45, 8 boundaries, 3 sixes, says volumes about this gentleman. When it comes to Punjab's bowling, a lot to look at. First thing first, I think we were also talking about it in the mid innings. Krishnappa Gautam bowling the final over was actually the difference in this game, Yuvraj. Trust me on this. If you will just minus 191, minus 25, that 176 margin will definitely look really very good to what it is looking as of now. Not 176, 166. That would have looked a little better than what it is looking now.
I think it would have been around 176 because you would have conceded around 10, 11 runs.
Yeah, you would have conceded 10, 11. So 160, 176, 177. That actually adds to your mental pressure for the team who is actually bowling. But now 191 is what Mumbai was able to manage. On the other hand, Punjab, you need to forget this performance because Lokesh Rahul, 17 of 19. He doesn't consume those many deliveries, so it is a game to forget. Mayank Agarwal, 25, now the highest run scorer as well. Karun Nair, we were speaking about him in the match day live as well. Where does he fit into this team? I really don't know. Zero. Duck is what he managed. Nicholas Pooran, 44 for him. Glenn Maxwell, again out of touch. Jimmy Neesham, 7 from bat and 52 from bowl. So it is a performance to forget for him as well. Sarfaraz Khan, आई थिंक पंजाब टीम आप इसको काफ़ी नीचे खिला रहे हैं. इनको अगर थोड़ा सा ऊपर खिलाएं तो शायद थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस हो सकता है. Krishnappa Gautam did well with the bat, 22 of 13 deliveries. And all, when it comes to Mumbai's bowling lineup, everybody contributed. Trent Bolt and Krunal Pandya picked 1 wicket each. Pattinson, Bumrah, Chahar managed 2 wickets each. So that's a very good performance, Yuvraj.
Complete performance, I think, from Mumbai. Really complete performance. Almost full marks in all departments. They looked really good. And Rahul Chahar, a really bright spark for them. I think he's going to soon play for India, be a regular in the Indian side. He has to be the way he's bowling. He's a very intelligent and clever bowler. He knows what lengths to bowl and how to contain the batsman. And he also knows how to take wickets. So if you can do that simultaneously, you can stop the flow of runs, you can take wickets, then you're a complete T20 bowler. And I think he'll also look good in other formats. But right now in T20, he's looking like a complete bowler. And the way he runs across that diagonal angle, not many leg spinners do it. And he's a bit different as well. And a really X factor for Mumbai in this tournament.
Let me give you a stat. You will be amazed by it. Mumbai are top on the points table now.
Just winning 2 games and top of the table says a lot about this year's tournament, I think.
That's more because of the net run rate. The net run rate is plus 1.094. That's plus 1 ahead of the next team.
I think today's huge win would have contributed a lot to that net run rate. And I think again going into the tournament, because no team is winning all their matches, hence net run rate will come into play, and you'd want to focus on that net run rate. Whenever a team is losing, you want to close that gap, and you'll need to be a little clever how to go about it. And the teams winning, they'll want to bundle the team chasing out quickly so that they can ramp up that net run rate.
When was the last time a team placed at 7th spot when they were coming to this ground, and when they will be leaving there on the first spot? That's amazing. You just jumped 6 spots and occupy the first position.
That's really nice. I think, again, this also says a lot about this year's tournament, that it's going to be really competitive. All the teams are going to be at an equal footing. No team has a certain advantage, no team has a certain weakness. So it looks really good for cricket in general, again, if we see these kind of things.
Bangalore, Punjab, Hyderabad, and Chennai. These are the four teams which occupy 5, 6, 7, and 8 respectively. We generally, it becomes very difficult for us as journalists, for us as analysts to actually see it from an eye that Chennai occupies 8th position, the bottommost position on the points table. And Yuvraj, tomorrow's game will actually be between two sides, 7th and 8th, Hyderabad and Chennai. What can we expect from that game as well?
I think again, same competitive cricket. Chennai are placed at the last spot at the moment, but I think that might change soon. As I said earlier, Dhoni won't let that happen. He wouldn't like to be on the last spot, and it's going to be a really good game. Chennai have their fair share of problems. Hyderabad have their fair share of problems. How they turn those problems into non-problems, we'll have to wait and watch for that. How they avoid their weaknesses in this game. So it will be a really good one to watch again.
Perfect then. I think it was Mumbai who were well ahead in the game, winning the game by 48 runs. Will be interesting to see how Hyderabad and Chennai play tomorrow. That's it from post match live. And it's a good night from me and, of course, Yuvraj.